Hey, it's Soul here to get you ready for this coming week in Warcraft. Do hit that like button, subscribe for more news and commentary, and let's talk about what you can do in preparation for patch 10.0.7 whenever that comes out. I want to be clear and say that this is very optional. This is not a high stakes race to best in slot, and this brief guide is for those of you who want to jump into what 10.07 has to offer, because there are a few small prerequisites. It's no fun to log in and be like, okay, so what do I do? And then you end up having to go back to do stuff that you could have been doing right now. First, let's talk about Orc and Human Heritage Armor. To pick up the quests for these sets, you're going to need a level 50 character that is exalted with Stormwind or Orgrimmar respectively. The WoW blog post doesn't say explicitly that an Orc or a human character has to be exalted with the capitals. I'm just gonna presume that you do. So in case you have an Orc or human character that is not exalted with these capitals, I think the easiest way to farm it up is to sport the Stormwind or Orgrimmar tabards, which you can find at the faction quartermasters in your capital cities. Throw these on, and then jump into Old Vanilla and Burning Crusade dungeons to farm up the Brep pretty quickly. The Winterpelt is a new faction in Dragonflight that you can work on to obtain some cosmetics and helpful gear options for people who don't really put too much focus on group content. But to access the quest to start working on this faction, you're going to need to complete a few storylines down in the Azure Span. These starts in Theron's Watch and Camp Nowhere. Knock these questlines out and you should have these two requirements completed in the Sojourner meta achievement. A Wowhead post indicates that you may also need to complete quests with Old Grimtusk, and the questline for that starts over in Ronin's Shield. This should make it so that when the patch drops, you'll receive in-game mail from an NPC that'll start this quest to unlock the Winterpelt faction. From testing so far, this unlock is not shared account-wide, but for the most part the rewards are, so you'll only really need to knock this reputation out once. The last thing you can consider doing before the patch is to have a bunch of level 70 characters. There's a fun little exploration game in the upcoming zone where you explore a vault, and you need a bunch of these keys to open doors where all the goodies are. The keys are mostly earned from farming rares and treasures in the zone, but keys are also tradable account-wide. And at the moment, the introductory questline, which is just 1 or 2 quests really, gives 6 of these tradable keys. Now there is a reasonable chance that these intro keys could change to being soulbound to prevent this clever use of game mechanics. So here's my second reminder that this preparation is very optional. Personally, I am going to level my alts up so I can funnel all of my intro keys to my paladin, and they'll be doing all the rare hunting anyway to pass off any of these excess keys or gear and so on and so forth. I'm going to have more to talk about in a zone guide later on, so check back on the channel as new stuff comes out. Now let's get to what's going on this week to help you out. The Darkmoon Fair is happening, so grab those precious profession and knowledge points. Also use the rep buffs, because you may be trying to get access to those heritage quests when the patch drops. Time Locking is back, this time with Wrath of the Lich King, although unfortunately if you're tabard farming, that does not work with Wrath dungeons. You're going to want to go back to BC and Vanilla dungeons for that. Still, it's a decent way to level alts if you're trying to get them up while actually playing your characters. Arathi Blizzard is this week's brawl, where people can easily sneak up on me while I'm guarding the farm, but they almost always regret it. And over in Mythic Plus World, the affixes are Fortified, Sanguine, and Volcanic. This is where it'd be great if DPS did treat Sanguine the same way they treated Bolstering, where you kill the mobs at the same time and then pretty much nothing happens. Instead, it's going to be the tank's job to steer big packs as they go along. Not that we tanks should be afraid of doing actual work, but boy, it's obnoxious seeing these immovable and uninterruptible mobs standing in puddles, and Volcanic is an affix too, be careful of that. With more and more chatter on patch 10.07, there's a reasonable chance that this patch could release earlier than my estimate of March 28th, so I'd be the good kind of wrong. Keep an eye out for future PTR builds that are flagged as a release candidate and of course an official announcement. I'm still working on trying to get more good conversations out there by talking about improvements for guilds, solo players, and how account level progression can work really well in World of Warcraft, and so much more. I hope to have videos out on those subjects soon, so keep tabs on this channel and catch me live on Twitch if you're up for just chatting about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, we'll have Bob close us out with a slower one, and I'll catch you later. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay breezy.
Wasted my life, it's obsession. I'm grinding reputation, I won't be denied. Hit that 25 and I'll be famous. contract spent. I can't slow down. Rep is who I am. Can't do anything else, so don't hold me back. Need that gear, I need that bond, I need that pet. So I'm gonna make soup, then I'm gonna world boss, then I'm gonna farm more, then I'm gonna not work. My renown will go up, then I'm gonna dig holes, then I'm gonna dig holes, then I'm gonna dig holes.